Hey y'all, welcome to Diamond and Silk, the podcast. We're your hosts, Diamond and Silk O Silk.
Diamond, oh Diamond.
Well, before we get started, girl, I want you all to stop right now and make sure you subscribe to our podcast. So each time we drop a podcast, hey, you will receive a notification.
That's right.
Because it is official.
Yes.
It is a fact.
Yes.
Jack. We are being censored on these major social media platforms.
Yes.
But you can always join us on Parler, on Chattit, ChatDit, and on Rumble. I just thought I may throw that in just a little bit.
Okay.
Don't forget also about our book, Uprising. Who the hell said you can't ditch and switch?
Who?
The Awakening of Diamond and Silk. You can get a signed autographed copy at diamondandsilkbookstore.com. Look, those make great stocking stuffers.
Yes.
Great Christmas holiday gifts. So get the book at diamondandsilkbookstore.com.
Also, if anyone wants to advertise on our podcast, feel free to send an email to info@diamondandsilk.com. That's info@diamondandsilk.com.
Yes, girl. Okay, so we know that the holiday is coming up because it's going to soon be Thanksgiving.
That's right.
And all of a sudden you have these governors. I guess they want to practice tyranny, dictatorships. They want dictatorships.
Yeah,
they want to
yes,
be
they do.
dictators.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
want to take and they want to keep their feet on the American people next. Now they're creating all of this fiasco when it comes to lockdowns.
Yes.
Lockdowns for a virus with a 9% recovery rate. Mortality rate is down 85%. Therapeutic medicines to treat it. Not only therapeutic medicines that can treat it, but if you want a vaccine, you will now be able to get it. You can pick and choose what you want, but they still want to lock us down. Now,
That's
Silk,
right.
what the heck does that sound like?
It sounds like the mafia to me. Gangsters, straight gangsters and dictators is what it sounds like to me. And you know what? I would not allow anybody to tell me what I can and cannot do
I know
in the
that's
privacy of my home
Right.
that I pay for. You're not going to be able to just tell me what I can and cannot eat when I go and buy my own groceries and what I can and cannot do when I pay my own bills in my home.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do that.
Right.
I just think it's wrong.
It is wrong, you
Yeah.
know. And then Governor Cuomo, he got into it with one of the reporters because they were asking him about locking down the schools. Will he be locking down the schools again? And he really couldn't answer it. He was really on the defense while he was trying to answer it, and it just looked all wrong for him. But Governor Cuomo, did you know he gave himself a raise, girl? He gave himself a $25,000 raise. I think he is one of the most highest paid governors in our country.
And with that $25,000, he need to give it to all of the loved ones of the people that was killed in those nursing homes
because of his negligence.
That's right.
Not only that, he gave himself a raise in the middle of a $63 billion deficit.
Wow.
I mean, does that make sense?
It does not make sense. It don't make sense whatsoever. Not only that, just look at this and think about this. When they talk about these lockdowns, and then when they unlock you, there's a spike, but then they lock you back down. That should make people understand and realize that these lockdowns are not working. Because if they were working, there would be no spikes. Even down to these mask mandates. You have our beautiful children who were sent to school and they were made to wear masks against their will in school for the last almost 2 months. So if masks really worked, then why is there a spike? And keep in mind that for individuals age 0 to 19, there is a 99.9997% chance of recovery.
Wow.
So I hear him saying he's going to shut the schools down all because of this virus. If these governors was really that concerned about mitigating the spread of a virus, then they should remove their restrictions from these therapeutic medicines that could help slow the spread of this quote unquote virus.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Silk. It seems to me that if it looked like the president is going to have a win on something,
Yeah.
they bring back COVID.
Yeah.
I think that this is the biggest scam of the history of scam.
Yeah.
And I think that they're using this to scare the public, to keep the public in fear.
Not only that, they're using this to conform the public into looking like communist China. That's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They want us to be in fear. They want us to be in panic. And that's why they keep getting rid of a lot of information, crucial information that is beneficial to a lot of people when it comes down to this virus, what they need to do, how they need to do it. They get rid of it because they only want to push one narrative,
right.
Theirs. It's negative,
right.
And it's full of fear and it's full of panic. Mm-hmm. And they want people to be in panic and fear about a virus that has a 99.9997% chance recovery rate.
Okay, so people, you all gonna have to take a look at this here.
Yeah, and one more thing too. Mm-hmm. Let me piggyback on one more thing. Mm-hmm. Do you know the people that are passing away are in hospice?
Well, they calling everybody a COVID. Somebody said the other day that somebody fell off a roof. Yeah. And by the time he hit the ground, he had done caught COVID.
That's right.
And when he passed away, they put COVID.
That's what they said. He died of COVID. Exactly what they said. So if they're going to the hospice, mm-hmm. where a lot of people are already on their deathbed, and you're counting those individuals as COVID-19 individuals that passed away, mm-hmm. and they're not saying from or with, but they just marking them down as a case,
right?
Okay, as passed away. Those individuals are in hospice. They're
right.
They're already there at a particular point.
But here's the deal. Why call that COVID if it's not COVID?
If it's not,
so I don't even trust the CDC anymore. I don't trust Health and Human Services. I think that there's people on the inside that's moles that do not care about the American people, and they're pushing one narrative.
Pushing an agenda.
I think that they're trying to turn our country into a one world order. Something sick and sinister is trying to take over, take our free elections, supposed to be free and fair elections away from us. They get to decide the will of the people and not the will of the people to decide for themselves. And that's what I see happening, Silk.
And Diamond.
Yes.
I need one autopsy. Just one autopsy to show proof mm-hmm. that somebody passed away because of COVID.
Right.
Not with COVID, but because of COVID. Just one autopsy is all I'm asking
for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. And this, none of this here makes sense.
Yeah.
People need to understand that. Don't let them encroach upon your liberties and your freedoms.
Yes.
And I keep telling people, I am not a person that believes in being defiant. I follow the rules. I follow the laws. I do what I'm supposed to. I've always been that girl. Mm-hmm. But at some point,
yes,
I used to say a word. This I will say the F word, but this zuckery has got to stop.
Yes.
At some point, this zuckery has got to stop, because this does not make any sense anymore.
Yeah.
And these people, you all, they want to reign and they want to rule over the lives of the American people. And let me tell you two things that I see here. Mm-hmm. First of all, the American people, the majority, is not going along with what they're trying to do with this election.
Right.
Second of all, I think they want to shut everything down to shut down the courts.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because of with President Trump contesting these states, which he should contest these states.
And I refuse to be a part of normalizing modern day slavery.
Right, that's right.
That's right. That's because that's what's happening.
That's what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's going to happen.
So speaking of these lockdowns, with Thanksgiving being here, and you have these governors saying that you can have only a certain amount of people at your home, and they want to stop you from traveling and going here and going there. And locking, like you say, locking down these courts. Mm-hmm. Why are they using we the American people as a tool to push this sick agenda?
Well, because, listen to me, you all. President Trump gets into office. Prosperity is up among us.
Yeah.
Jobs are coming back. People are thriving.
Yeah.
Don't you know these elitists don't like that?
No, they
don't like that. Listen to me. And we say this on our show, and I'll say it again. If you all are not careful, corporations is going to be running our country.
Yeah.
It won't be no more we the people.
Right.
It'll be a few people be running everything. They'll be making our laws and our rules.
Yeah.
There is no other laws that supersedes the Constitution.
That's
we
right.
are a republic governed by constitutional laws.
Yes.
And people need to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
People need to understand that. And if you allow this to slip through our hands, through our fingers, you all, everybody, you're not gonna know this country, and you gonna hate it. And that's why, even with this election going on, we know the fraud. We see the fraud, even though they're pushing all of this narrative up in our face. We have to stand up and call out the fraud.
Yeah.
We have to stand up and say enough is enough of this BS. We have to do it, because if not, that is a wrap of our freedoms. Freedom as we know it is over. And the ones that's going along with the shenanigans and the sick, sinister mess, they going to be the one also becoming a slave. Now they're being used.
Yeah. So you have people, they're going along with this involuntarily, and they don't even realize it.
They don't even realize.
When they talk about no mask, no service, no mask, no service, what you're doing is basically being used as a tool to push this communist agenda, and don't even realize it.
That's right. That's right. Biden have some plans when it comes to his agenda for COVID-19. And I heard it was not good. And I heard it is being alleged that black people are going to be the one that's going to have to be vaccinated first. And it is going to be mandatory. Okay, now this is what I heard, and it's being alleged. So I'm just telling you all. You all think that, oh, you don't want Trump, oh, this and oh, that. You voting for your death when you vote Biden.
When you vote,
You voting to be in chains and shackles when you vote for Biden. You voting to be in poverty when you vote for Biden.
That's right. But when you really look at it, and after looking at everything that's going on, are people really, really voting for a particular candidate?
It makes you wonder.
It makes you wonder, or are they putting in different ballots on behalf of people to make it appear like those people voted, and those people don't even realize what's going on?
Well, let me just tell you this, Silk. When you look at everything now, because now that we are awoken to this here con game that's been going on, it's probably been going on for a while now.
For a long
since
time.
they've gotten rid of paper ballots. Let's go and let's look at that.
Yeah.
Remember in 2018 when all of the House seats flipped?
Yes.
From Republicans to Democrats.
Yes.
And we was like, it didn't make sense. How did this happen?
Yep.
How do we know that system, those Dominion machines and that Smartmatic software wasn't being used then?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's go back to even when Obama became president for the second term. How do we know that was all true? Remember what Biden said, okay? About they built the biggest voter fraud game in the history. Obama used it.
Yeah.
He's going to use it.
Yes.
That was the reason why he stayed stuck in his basement. Now, fact checkers gonna say, "Oh, he misspoke." He never said he misspoke.
No,
he never said anything else about that, did he? Makes you wonder.
Yeah. And speaking of the machines, you know, for years, the Democrats have been trying to prove to us, the American people, that there was Russia collusion and Russia interference into the election. They wasted over $40 million. $40 million of our tax dollars they wasted, only to find out that it was Hillary Clinton and the DNC that paid for the dossier. And they were actually the ones doing the collusion. So if it took them 4 years and $40 million of our tax dollars to find out that there was no Russia collusion, then allow us at least 4 more weeks. Okay, 4 more weeks. And President Trump, the Trump team, they're using their own money to expose the corruption and uproot the fraud.
That's right.
Okay.
There's a lot of fraud going on.
It's a whole lot. Yes.
And you know what I find sad? Whenever you have judges that's supposed to interpret the law, follow the law, but they act like they want to write the law.
Yeah.
That is concerning to me. Like, where is the American people protection?
But the deal is, who payroll are they on?
Right.
Who payroll are they on? What kickback, paddywhacks are they really receiving in order to do these particular types of judgments, and that's the reason why I really feel like there has to be an audit. I think that this whole entire election needs to be audited to the point of seeing really how many votes did Joe Biden really get? How many real legal votes did Joe Biden really get? And if Democrats was doing all of this winning, why do they have to cheat?
Why do they have to cheat? And you notice that they're very, very quiet about all of this here.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Well,
did you know that the Dominion Voting Systems, the owner of that, I believe they lawyer up. Abruptly, they backed out of Pennsylvania because they were supposed to go, I believe, the court there. They abruptly backed out of attending a fact-finding hearing that was set for Friday morning, and now they went and gotten a lawyer. So what does that mean? What's going on with that? If they didn't do anything wrong, why are they lawyering up?
Yeah.
Okay? So that makes you wonder about some things right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on. And what you're not going to be able to do is disenfranchise 73 million people and tell us to go somewhere, sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
And look the other way while you all commit the biggest of treason, the biggest coup in American history. This is the biggest scam that we've ever seen in the days of our lives.
Yeah, because just think about it. At 2 weeks after the election, they started counting votes in Georgia, right? They did a recount in Georgia.
Right.
All of a sudden, here are some votes that wasn't even counted, but those votes was for President Trump. So just imagine, that's just in that particular in Georgia.
Right.
Imagine in other states and precincts where there are votes that were not even counted for President Trump.
Well, understand this, in Georgia, they've already, I believe, certified that election. But here's the deal. Anyone that certified that election, when you know that there was fraud, when you know that illegal ballots was being counted, when you know you didn't do a result audit, you probably did a process audit, which means did we follow the law? Yes, that's the end of the audit. These here, listen, the way this needs to go, these audits need to be looked at, you all.
Yes.
We need to ask for the ballots that's been scanned.
Yep.
Let's look at the scanned ballots. I'm quite sure they got pictures of every scanned ballot. We need to know what's going on here because you're supposed to keep that for up to 22 days after an election.
They supposed to, but these Democrats have changed the rules in the middle of the game and after the game is over. They try to change the rules. And the only thing that President Trump, the Trump team is trying to do is to follow the law.
Right.
That's all that they are trying to do. Follow the law. And any Secretary of State who certifies the fraud, they need to be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because not only is this an insult to our president, it's an insult to the real live American citizens that voted for this man.
Well, people are not going to want to vote no more if they don't get this here together. They're not going to want to vote anymore.
Yeah,
because they're going to be like our votes don't count.
It's like it really don't count. And then I'm listening to these different journalists and different naysayers on the left talking about that they want evidence. Well, all they got to do is get their mind outside of the box and use common sense. That's all that they have to do. Because if you notice something, notice how the Democrats are the ones trying to hide signature ballots that's supposed to have came in for Biden. But you have not heard of one Republican trying to hide a ballot.
That's right.
Signatures.
That's
okay?
Right.
That might have came in for President Trump. Just notice how Democrats are trying to change the rules after the game is over, only to justify their irregularities. Notice that.
Right.
But notice that you don't see any Republicans trying to change the rules at the end of the game or in the middle of the game to try to cover up anything.
Right.
But you got Democrats doing that.
But you tweeted out something back in September, and you told them that what they're going to try to do is they're not going to try to win an election.
That's
they're
right.
going to try to take it from the person that won the election.
Person.
Something to that nature is what you wrote.
Yeah.
And that's what we see happening right now.
That's exactly what we see happening. And another thing, they got this word I call widespread. Widespread. Well, first it was there's no fraud. Now it's there's no widespread fraud. But can I just break that down?
Break it
down. Okay. So if you remember on the night of the election, okay, in the key swing states,
Right.
where President Trump was up in the hundreds of thousands, notice they stopped counting those votes.
Abruptly, yes.
Yeah, they just stopped counting those votes. Now, that didn't happen in one state.
Right.
It didn't happen in one county. It happened in several different states.
Right.
Several different counties.
Right.
That's widespread.
Right.
Because it didn't just happen in one place.
Right.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then why is it if Biden has 80 million, almost 80 million people, why wasn't he winning it on election night?
Well, if he had that many people
Yeah.
during the primaries, where was those 80 million people?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was those 80 million people?
people?
I'm just thinking about
Think
that.
about that. And then for them to take what law gave these states, okay, the authority to stop counting the votes in the middle of the election? What law gave these states the authority to stop counting those votes in the middle of the election?
There was no law.
There was no law. There was no law for them to just stop all of these states that Trump was up in to stop. Now you go in and you get all of these ballots. All right? Let me show you how it was playing.
Come on, girl, show us.
Because this didn't happen in one state.
No.
This happened in several states at the same time. Did somebody call Tyrone? Well, I mean, how did they
How did
know
that happen?
what to do, when to do it, and for all of this to happen in these different states at the same time?
With everything that's going on, isn't it ironic that Biden is very quiet about all of this? If you won this fair and square, wouldn't you say, hey, I want every ballot counted if we have to make sure that all of this is equal? But they have to cheat in order to win. And I don't see how Biden think he's going to govern a country being a cheater. You're not going to be able to. You ain't going to ever have one good day.
He's a puppet.
Yes.
He's an empty vessel. Their deal is to use him, go through him to push this sick, sinister narrative and agenda on we the American people. Look, our tax dollars pay their salaries. They supposed to work for us, the American people.
Right.
Not get our salary and then take and lock us down. We can't work, can't pay our bills or nothing like that.
Right.
It's time for we, the American people, to wake up. Not only that, even down to these machines that were used in a third world country to take and fix elections.
Right.
How the hell did those machines get here in America?
They should have never been here in America, because I know Smartmatic, they stuff was, listen, certain countries, you can't even use that type of software and machines in those particular countries.
You can, right. You can't use that.
So was the United States of America should have known better.
Known that.
But you got deep state snakes
Yes.
sitting in certain positions
Yes.
to make illegal activity happen.
Yes.
You know what needs to happen? They need to be arrested. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. But they need to be arrested.
Yes.
Is what needs to happen.
Especially if they're tallying our votes over in Germany and Sydney, a foreign country.
Right.
Are you serious? Now, the Democrats have itched. They've itched about foreign interference, but they are okay with foreigners counting our ballots, counting our votes. What kind of mess is that? Not only that, Diamond, when you have our systems set up like these dictators in these other countries, guess what?
What?
Look at what's happening right now. They're infiltrating our systems with this third world stuff.
Right.
They got us walking around here. We got y'all walking around here like you're in a third world country.
Yes.
They're infiltrating our system with this BS.
They are.
And we got to call them out.
We have to. But you know what? I think that this is going to have to go to the Supreme Court.
It's going to have to.
And I'm just getting word that the new circuit court assignment for SCOTUS justices is as follows. Circuit courts have been reassigned effective November the 20th. Order pursuant to Title 28 United States Code Section 42.
Uh-huh.
Who's in charge? Brett Kavanaugh is in charge of Michigan, Amy Coney Barrett, Wisconsin, Samuel Alito, Pennsylvania, and Clarence Thomas, Georgia.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So let's see how the cookie
Crumble.
bake. I'm not gonna say crumble. How the cookie bake
How the cookie
on this?
bake.
Oh yes, because let me tell you
Yeah.
something. So it looked like they are getting people in the correct places.
Well, we have our Constitution. They cannot take and just change up the rules in the middle of the game, stop counting on election day, then flood the system full of all of these ballots that include dead people, service animals, running the ballots through twice to tabulate it.
Right.
All of this different fraudulent activity that's going on.
Right.
It's time to come back down to earth here.
Well, let me just break it down to so that people can understand.
Okay.
According to this order, it is ordered that the following allotment be made of the Chief Justice and the Associate Justice of this court among the circuits pursuant to Title 28, United States Code, Section 42, and that such allotment be entered of record effective November 20, 2020. Okay? So it just tells you the different type of circuits that our justices control.
Wow.
So I'm going to talk about the conservatives.
Okay.
Samuel Alito will be in the 3rd and the 5th circuit. Okay? All right? Brett Kavanaugh, he will be in the 6th and the 8th circuit. Okay? Amy Coney Barrett, she will be in the 7th circuit. All right? Clarence Thomas, he will be in the 11th circuit. Gorsuch, he will be in the 10th circuit. So it looks like everything seems to be lining up right.
Yeah. The puzzle, the pieces to the puzzle is finally starting to come together.
Speaking of puzzle, I don't even know if y'all know about this. So back in 2018, September the 12th, 2018 to be exact, there was an executive order you all signed into law where it was about our election and about foreign interference and what happens with foreign interference and anybody that orchestrated and participated with that foreign interference when it comes to our elections, when it comes to tabulation of our votes.
Wow.
People don't even understand that we were under a national emergency affected that day. That was September 12th, 2018.
Wow.
And we're still up under that. So please, don't think that somebody is just going to take this from us.
Yeah.
Absolutely, unequivocally, not. No. So you all can read it for yourself. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of this tie in together. This is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, because still, when was the law broken? It was broken whenever these governors or these mayors started setting these rules and they did not go through the legislative branch.
Right.
When they didn't go through the state legislative branch, the one that makes the rules, everything else that they set outside of that legislative branch is null and void.
Right.
At least that's what it's supposed to be. So with them talking about all of these mail-out ballots, and if there was no law written for that, all of those mail-in ballots is supposed to be null and void.
Right.
It's against the rules.
Well, they never should have done mass mail-out ballots in the first place. Children getting ballots, animals getting ballots, dead people getting ballots. Does that make sense? Even the GOP members up there in Michigan, how they were harassed and bullied into certifying something that they didn't. Now, they've since rescinded that certification.
Yeah.
But the deal is they see fraud. This need to be audited. Something is not right here. So why would people be bullying them into lying about something that they like, oh, no, something is wrong here.
And shame on people that goes along with this thievery.
Yeah.
Shame on people that's going along with this cheat. You see that there's some fraud going on, but you want to go ahead on and bypass it and be in denial. And you want us to be in denial of it too.
Right.
That is so sad.
No, we can't go along with that. We can't go along to get along. What we got to do is stand up, and when you right, you got to fight for your rights.
Come on, honey. Come
It's
on.
what's got to happen.
That's what we got to do.
Listen, you all, I've really enjoyed this show, you all.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you know what's happening? We are staying updated and informed, and we are being awakened and enlightening to what's going on, and that makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you all that you stop right now, subscribe to this podcast, so each time we drop a podcast, you will receive a notification. And don't forget about our book, Uprising.
Yeah.
Who the hell said you can't ditch and switch the awakening of Diamond and Silk? You can get a signed autographed copy at diamondandsilkbookstore.com. That's diamondandsilkbookstore.com. We know that the holidays are coming up, so they will make great stocking stuffers or under the tree gifts.
That's right. That's right. And if anyone wants to advertise on our podcast, please send an email to info@diamondandsilk.com. Don't forget to give us a review, and a 5-star will do.
Wow, we was just coming to give y'all the 211. We call it the 211 because it's two of us.
And we're the ones giving it to you.
So in the meantime, in between time, we will see you all next time right here on Diamond and Silk, the podcast.
Bye-bye.